Hey guys, today I just wanted to make a video discussing the security gateway module bypass cables. I sell a lot of these on Facebook, and whenever I post, I have some available. I get a lot of comments from people like, "What are they? Do I need them?" etc. So basically, for Rams in 2018, there was some extra security added, which basically you can't plug in. Say if you have a program like Alpha OBD, you can't plug in your OBD device, connect to Alpha OBD, and make a new fob or make any kind of changes to the truck because there's that extra security. So these cables are made to basically bypass that security. So you can do things like that. You want to make a new fob, you want to change some BCM settings on your truck, you added something, you want to activate the settings for that. Um, some kind of SGW security gateway module bypass is required for that. And there are a few different types. So this is the type that I make, which um, the main end will plug into your OBD port. So you would pop out your OBD port, plug that in here, and then you would connect your device into this end. Then you have two leads here, which would go to CAN blocks or star connector blocks up under your dash. Basically, there's different modules will communicate on different networks with the BCM on the truck. So you have a CAN C network and a CAN IHS network. The majority of the stuff is on CAN C. I have an adapter that I include because I make this universal for all 2018 through 2024 Rams. And for whatever reason, on the 4th gen 1500 trucks, the CAN IHS block is different than all other Rams. So this adapter is included if you're using this on a 4th gen 1500 truck. It would just plug into this green connector here. If it's not a 4th gen 1500, then you use the green connector. But this is my style, which is one of the easier ones to install. There's also the Chrysler 12+8 connector, which is pretty cheap. A lot of people are constantly recommending that. The issue with that is you have to access the security gateway module because you have to unplug the two leads that connect into the module, and you plug in the 12+8 into that, and then you plug your OBD connector into the other end. So for a 4th gen, like I have a classic, the security gateway module is behind my radio. So to use something like that, I have to pull the radio to access the security gateway module. For HD trucks, it's behind the cluster, so you have to pull the cluster to access it. So those ones are not the best to use, unless you're okay with doing that. They're good for 5th gen 1500s because I believe the security gateway module is easily accessible up under the dash on the driver's side. So I can see you using them for a 5th gen 1500. But everything else, I would say this cable here is probably easier to use. They also make a block style. Like ECRI makes a block style, which is similar to the Chrysler 12+8. You have to access the security gateway module. And again, you'll unplug it. There's two leads that go to the module. You will unplug those and you plug those into the block, the ECRI block, and you can leave that in the dash, and that'll permanently disable the security gateway module. Again, some people don't like to leave it permanently disabled, so that's kind of personal preference. This style here, what I usually tell people, right, is if you want to use this but you don't want to leave it hooked up constantly, you can technically disconnect these leads here, but one of the easier things to do really is if you just unhook your factory OBD port, you can take this whole section here and just tuck it up under your dash somewhere and reconnect your factory OBD port to the factory location. So that way when you're plugging into that, you're not running through the bypass anymore. If you want to use the bypass though, you can just unhook your OBD wiring, plug it in here, and then plug in your OBD device on this end. That's one of the easier ways without having to fully remove it. But if you did want to fully remove it, I did make a video showing you how to kind of remove these leads from these CAN bus blocks or the star connectors. But that is basically a rundown. Actually, I do know of one other style bypass, which they make you depin the CAN bus wiring from your factory OBD port, and then you plug their leads in. It's basically similar to this. It's just you plug their two leads in, and then you run this up to your CAN C block. So that's as far as I know, the different types of bypasses. Since it is now 2025 and there are 2025 and 2026 models coming out, that is a completely different network system. And as far as I know, there are no bypasses for the 2024 and 2025 and 2026 model Rams. So I don't know if and when anything would become available for those. So like I said, this kind of tutorial is specific to the 2018 through 2024 Rams, fourth gens, fifth gens, 1500s, 2500s, 3500s. Anything prior to 2018, you don't have the security gateway module, so a bypass cable is not required. But hopefully this will help a few people. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Thanks.